Recently, one of my private coaching clients signed an architecture job contract in Germany. And the reason I want to talk about this is because when we start working together, she didn't have a clean and presentable portfolio. She had the work, she had the ideas, and she had the ambition, but the work was scattered and direction was unclear. And also, she didn't feel confident about how to present the work herself. And after working together, she built a much stronger portfolio, got solid interviews with leading firms in Berlin, Hamburg, Karlsruhe, and eventually signed a solid architect contract covering LPH 1 to 5. In this video, I want to explain what actually changed because it wasn't just one Grasshopper trick. It was structure, consistency, honest feedback, logic, and confidence. And if you're an architect, designer, or student who feels like his or her portfolio is scattered, or you want to keep learning Grasshopper but it's still not turning into architectural work, this video is for you. When we started, the problem wasn't that she had no work. Actually, this is something I see very often. A lot of architects and designers, they have the work, they have projects, they have experiments, screenshots, models, digital models, diagrams, everything. But the problem is that all of these things are disconnected. There is no clear story behind them. And when there's no clear story, even good work can look weak. In her words, she said that she started with scattered, unpresentable work and a vague, overambitious idea of how to deliver the portfolio as a whole. I was reading that. And I think that's very important because a lot of people think the problem is I need one more project, I need one more render, I need one more physical model, I need a new software skill, I need one more Grasshopper trick. But many times the real problem is not amount of the work that you have. The real problem is that the work doesn't have the structure. It doesn't tell people who are you and what you can do, or how you think and why they should trust you, okay? With my client, we actually met through one of my workshops, free ones. At the beginning, it looked like the Grasshopper problem. She wanted to improve her computational design skills. She had some Grasshopper components in her work, and that was the entry point. But as we worked together, I realized the real issue was bigger than the Grasshopper. Grasshopper was the door, but the actual work became portfolio structure, career direction, design confidence, how to communicate her architectural thinking, and so on and so forth. And this is something I want to be very clear about. Grasshopper can be extremely powerful, but if your portfolio around it is unclear, then the output can easily look like a cool image. And the cool images are not enough, especially in the AI world that we are living in. You need to show the design logic. You need to show how the project is developed. You need to make the work understandable for the person who is looking at your portfolio. Because firms are not only asking, can this person make an interesting image? They're also asking, can this person think clearly? Can this person develop a project? Can this person communicate through drawings or diagrams? Can this person work with us? This is where portfolio becomes more than a collection of images. It becomes a career tool. So what we actually fixed. The first thing was the structure. We worked heavily around 3 months. During that period, we were meeting twice a week. That was heavy. And she was really working hard. So working twice a week, it's not a casual check-in, it was consistent. We looked at her work, we talked through the direction, we clarified what should stay, we clarified what should be removed. We looked at all the projects as a connected pieces of all her story. And after that heavy period, we slowed it down, but I was still seeing her twice a month so that I can help her during the interviews and all those kind of things. Because when you're building a portfolio alone, it's very easy to get lost. You open the file, you look at your projects, you change the layout, you change to another layout, you start a new project. It's always going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You're drawing circles. And suddenly 3 weeks passes, but the portfolio hasn't really moved forward. So the structure helped her stop spinning around her ideas. Instead of trying to fix everything at once, we created a roadmap, which was step by step. So you were asking like, what is the strongest work? What is the weakest work? What is missing? What's the story behind this? What should the first impression be? What should portfolio say about you as an architect? And this is one of the biggest things coaching can give you, not just answers, but a direction. So the second thing we worked on was her confidence. I don't mean fake confidence. I mean the confidence that comes from clarity and proof. When your work is scattered, you feel scattered. When your portfolio is unclear, you feel unclear. And when you cannot explain your work clearly on your portfolio, it becomes very difficult to show up strongly in interview. So the part of the process was helping her see the value in her work first, but also being honest. Not everything was working, so some things needed to be changed, adjusted, removed, simplified, and pushed further. And this is where honest feedback matters, because good coaching is about basically being honest. It's not about telling you everything looks great and you're so good and so on and so forth. That doesn't help at all. Sometimes the most helpful thing is to say, this part is not clear enough yet. This project is not the strongest one. This page is confusing. This diagram doesn't read well. This image is pixelated. But it has to be done with care. The goal is not to destroy someone's confidence, obviously. Confidence based on better decisions. That's why my goal was to help her to come up with better decisions. And then her confidence can be based on a clearer portfolio, based on a stronger communication. And over time, that started to change how she saw her own work actually. And the real confidence comes from that. And by the way, if this sounds similar to you, if your portfolio feels scattered or you keep learning Grasshopper but still cannot turn it into a clear architectural work, I left my calendar link below in the description. You can call a book with me and we can look at your work together and what kind of work or roadmap can be easier for you to follow. And since we met through a Grasshopper workshop, I want to talk about the role of Grasshopper played in her or in this transformation. Grasshopper was part of the work, but it was not the entire story. And I know I've been talking about Grasshopper in this channel a lot, but in this particular case, Grasshopper was kind of a good company, a good kind of piece that complete the entire story. So she was thinking about it at the beginning. So a better portfolio will be caused by or created by Grasshopper components, Grasshopper scripts. It wasn't true. So what matters was that whether you understand the logic on what you are doing, either Grasshopper or not. And before you build complex parametric systems with Grasshopper, you need to understand kind of the alphabet behind what is happening. And that's why I always start with teaching the geometric alphabet to my coaching clients. It's like a point is just never a dot. It answers a few things about the architecture, like location, like position, like snapping angles, and so on and so forth. For instance, a line is never just a line. It can be read as connection, it can be read as reference, so on and so forth. The same goes with a curve, the same can go with the arches, all these geometric factors. And this is the basic language. And if the basic language is weak, then the Grasshopper definition might still produce something interesting, but the thinking behind it will be weak. This is the difference between making a cool image and building a computational design process. And also, this is important for the portfolios because in a portfolio, the difference is huge because when someone looks at your work, they shouldn't see the final image only. They should understand the process. They should understand the computational thinking behind it. They should understand the entire system. They should understand how design is developed. This is why I like connect physical thinking to Grasshopper as well. For example, with some clients, I ask them to build some physical studies first. And then with my clients, we sit down and ask, what is the rule? What is repeating? What is changing? What can be control? What can be a parameter? What can become a sequence? And then we rebuild that physical model logic in Grasshopper. This is very different from watching a tutorial and copying someone else's definition, because when you copy a tutorial, you might finish the exercise, but you may not understand the logic deeply enough so that you can use those logics in your own work. But when you understand the rule, you can transfer it, right? You can use it in a pavilion, you can use it in a facade, roof system, whatever, and you can take that information and put them into your portfolio, and you can explain that in the interview as well. And that's the most important point. So the goal is not to become someone who only watches tutorials. The goal is to become someone who can think through geometry and communicate that thinking clearly. And after this process, her portfolio became much stronger. She started from scattered, unpresentable work. Then she built a clearer portfolio. That her portfolio helped her get interviews with leading industry firms in Berlin, Hamburg, and Karlsruhe again. And eventually she signed an architecture role in a German university town. The role covers 1 to 5. LPH stands for some German name, which are the German Architectural Service Spaces. So in simple terms, it means she'll be involving from early project clarification to permit planning and execution drawing. So it's not a tiny role. It's a serious architectural position across the first portion of building the building. And I'm very proud of her because of the work she produced. I guided her, pushed her, gave her feedback, helped her to create the structure. But she had to make the decisions. She had to deal with the uncomfortable feedback. She had to keep going when it wasn't that easy. And that's why I think this result matters a lot. Not because it proves that one portfolio trick gets you hired, but because it shows that what can happen when someone gets the structure, the right guidance, and the right level of consistency. So the main lesson from this story is this: if your portfolio is scattered, the answer is probably just more work. If you're struggling with Grasshopper, the answer is probably not just more tutorials. You need structure, you need a way to understand on your own work, you need feedback, you need consistency, and you need the confidence to present yourself clearly, because firms do not hire images, portfolios, diagrams. They hire people, they hire thinking, and they hire communication. So if you are building your portfolio right now, I want you to ask yourself the following questions. Is my work clear? Is my story clear? Can someone understand what I am good at? Can I explain the logic behind my projects? Am I showing only the final images, or am I showing how I think? Am I building a portfolio that supports the kind of opportunity that I want or not? Those questions matter the most. And if you want to get help with this, I left my calendar link below in the description. If your portfolio feels scattered, if you're learning Grasshopper but you still cannot turn those into stronger architectural work, book a call with me. We can look at where you are right now, what is blocking you, and whether working together makes sense. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.